Hello, Ada colleagues. This is Rodney Robinson, taking a few moments to address this week's or this month's um, final presentation, if you will, or putting it all together from chapter three. Just a very, very powerful chapter and really eye-opening material and concepts that has already started to help me to kind of look at things from a different perspective as an educator. And so what I have done is of the six uh, core design principles, I chose design three and design four. Three is culture guides how we process information. And number four, attention drives learning. And so for me, from my perspective and from what I've experienced, even as recent as yesterday evening, I was teaching a class of international students at California Miramar University, and culture guides how we process information. I had a student who has just come to the United States from China, and during the lecture, I called on her to answer a question, and she kind of froze, and it kind of took me by surprise, as I thought things were going very well, and materials was being disseminated and being retained. But she stopped me and said, um, "I'm new to the U.S. I'm new to learning English, and so I need everything slowed down a bit so that I can process the information." And so, just from that alone, it caused me to understand that as an educator, to be culturally responsive, I have to take into account the speed of delivery or presenting material, making sure that I actually check in for understanding even as the lecture goes on, and not compile so much data, so much information into one setting. And so, just as recent as yesterday evening, I recognized the need to slow down and to chunk material, check in for understanding, and make sure students learners are getting all that they need, and centering that learning on the learner. And so, in that particular instance, the learner said, "I'm not even accustomed to English just yet, like I would like to be. So I need things slowed down." And so, one of my action items is to start to chunk my lecture and make it a less of a comprehensive lecture and more of a call and response or check in as I chunk the material together and make sure the background knowledge of students are connected to what's being covered. Secondly, attention drives learning. But this is a very, very powerful core design principle in that it needs to be attention grabbing, or something that resonates with the learner so that they can even start learning the material. And so for me, I'm thinking of an action item for myself. It's maybe starting with a musical introduction, maybe a jingle, or seeing that I teach business. I think jingles would be a good way to just get learners thinking about the material, as opposed to just starting in with terminology and concepts and presenting just the overall topic, starting with a jingle, a marketing jingle for advertisement, to kind of get students in the motivation and excitement for learning. Because if they can connect what we're about to cover with a jingle or music based on that core design four, it might be something that will resonate and they'll retain more likely than just going at the students with just concepts and terminology and explanations and so forth. So I really have benefited from the material that has been presented in this month's module. I'm still working on ways in which to do that because time is of the essence. Putting together a lesson plan requires is very time consuming when you start to look at the significance of being a culturally responsive educator. And so I'm looking forward to learning more from my colleagues and sharing ideas and strategies. And so the two, in summary, the two items would be looking at slowing down in terms of presenting material, and also adding maybe music or some attention grabbing video to spawn the learning experience. So thank you for listening. Again, looking forward to today's meeting, and hopefully we'll learn a whole bunch today. And everyone, talk to you soon.